Okay, this is Jared Williamson at the Prepared Adventist, and I'm doing a little presentation on preparing for the upcoming recession in 2023, 2024. It's based on the biblical principle that the prudent see danger coming and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty. And I always have to mess with that on PowerPoint. Forbes expects a recession in late 2023 or early 2024. They don't argue whether or not a recession will happen. They just debate exactly when it will happen. Will it be late 2023 or sometime in 2024? And one of the things businesses are going to start doing during a recession is laying off staff. That means people getting unemployed. And we have to be prepared for that. Fox News says that we believe the Fed's rate hikes and shrinking bond portfolio have been stringent enough to cause an economic contraction in 2023. And if the Fed does not pause rate hikes until it sees the contraction, a deeper recession may ensue, and job losses may top 2 million in 2023. That means your job and my job, potentially. What do we have to do about it? Or what can we do about it? Well, first off, I just picked this picture because I like the dog. Okay. And the poor dog staring at the burger and not eating it. I just like the picture. I have no reason for it other than that. But anyway, what are we going to do about it? First, one of the things I found out recently was to repair old relationships and make new ones. No one's going to get through these tough times on their own. There's no such thing as a lone wolf. Two, become the most valuable person at your work. You want job security if at all possible. That means show up an hour early, leave an hour late. Do your job, do it well, and find ways to make yourself valuable so you're the last person they want to lay off. Save 1 to 3 months living expenses and pay down your debt. Stock up on medicines, believe it or not, because if you lose your job, you're going to need supplies of medicine just in case, right? Stock up on food, you got to eat. Start growing food. A garden is good for you, whether or not you need it for the food. And growing a garden is like printing your own money if you really think about it. And make important copies of all your important documents. That's something I learned quite recently. Okay. Why do we want to repair old relationships and make new ones? Because where no counsel is, the people fail. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. When you get advice from a lot of people, you are less likely to mess up. Or the Message translation, without good direction, people lose their way. The more wise counsel you follow, the better your chances. Oh man, let's see here. My picture is covering up the scripture. It's not what I wanted to happen. I hope this shows. Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. That's another way of saying many hands make light work. And if either of them falls down, one can help the other, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them. No one gets through this on their own. We need help from other people. Okay. And as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Okay. Pay down your debt. There's lots of books on this. One way of paying down your debt, I'm going to show you this. I call it the credit card ladder. That could help those of us who have credit card debt. Suppose you have 3 credit cards. Card 1, you got to pay $25 a month. Card 2, you pay $30 a month. Card 3, you pay $50 a month. Say those are your minimum payments. That's $105 a month. What you can do is start paying extra on card 1, the smallest payment. I doubled it. So instead of 25 a month, make it 50 a month. But doesn't have to be double. Could be, instead of 25 a month, could be 30 a month. Okay. But increase the amount you pay on your smallest credit card if you can. And keep paying that. And that means you'll be paying a little bit more that month. But once that's paid off at about 130 a month, the way I set it up, once that's paid off, once credit card 1 is paid off, I can take my regular payment from credit card 1 and apply that on top of the payment for credit card 2. So now credit card one is paid off. Card two is $30 a month plus $25 a month from the previous credit card. I'm still paying $105 a month, but I'm paying card two down pretty rapidly now. Once that's taken care of, and I hope my screen doesn't cover it up. Once that is taken care of, now take the payments from card one and card two and apply that to card three. So I'm paying it off even faster. And that's kind of a laddered way of paying off your credit cards. So now I'm paying off credit card three at 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, at 105 a month on just credit card three. And I don't feel the extra pain because I was already paying 105 a month, if that makes sense. That's a great way to start paying down your credit card debt. There's lots of books on how to get out of debt. Start reading any of them. Okay. Next, stock up on medicines. For those of us who have chronic illnesses, such as, I don't have diabetes, but I have arthritis, you'll want to stock up on those things. Another thing is I normally wear glasses. I don't wear them during these because you could see the glare in my lenses. I have to fix the lighting on here. But for those of us that wear glasses, right? How many of us have extra pairs of glasses? You can go online and get duplicates of your glasses cheaply and leave them in several locations. Leave a pair at your work, leave a pair in your car, leave a pair at home, leave a pair in your bag, because if you ever forget them, you've got an extra pair of glasses. Okay, it seems silly, but without my glasses, I have a hard time seeing. Next, get your dental work done while you're employed and have insurance. Get your dental work done for your kids. If you're unemployed and you get a major toothache, life is not much fun at all. Okay, toothache in the middle of the night and you got to see a dentist, and toothache pain is like nothing else. It's right up there with earache pain. So get your dental work done. Get extra supplies of your medicines. If your doctor will let you get a larger supply of your diabetes medicine, if you can, get an extra supply of your arthritis medicine if you can. Get extra supplies of your medicines and have them in stock. So instead of having 1 month supply, maybe have a 2 or 3 month supply of your medicine. Obviously, some of them, they won't let you do that. Like, pain medicines are not going to give you extra narcotics, but, have extra supplies of your medicines for the recession. You're going to use them anyway. Might as well have some extras on hand. Next, stock up on food. Aim for 1 month's food supply. Buy food that you normally eat. Don't go buy the expensive dehydrated prepper stuff or military MREs or whatever until you've really built up a deep pantry. Aim for 1 month's of supply of food. 2 places you could go is shelfcooking.com, and they'll help you get started on there. Also, American Prepping Academy by a guy I know by the name of JJ Johnson. Does really good work on this stuff, and he's not a sensationalist, doomsday prepper, breathless, tinfoil hat wearing type of guy. He's in former Air Force SEER instructor and works right now in counterintelligence and counterterrorism. And all his stuff is on level-headed, preparing for stuff that can and will happen without being breathlessly frightened about it. Next, start growing food. I can't recommend Mel Bartholomew's all-new square foot gardening book enough. I was doing that for a long time. I can't do it in my backyard right now just because of some stuff going on. But his square foot gardening, as you can get bricks. You can get maybe not 2x4s, but maybe 2x8s or something like that. And you could lay out a large rectangle that you could break up into 1 foot squares, and then you can plant each crop. Each square has a different crop, and you can grow your food that way. And you're not, unless you're really, really good, you're not going to be able to grow enough food to supply all of your food needs. But you can learn how to do it, and you can cut into your food expenses by growing food. And like I said before, growing food is like it's like printing your own money, and gardening is just good for you, period. And a lot of these books on square foot gardening have actually different layouts or schematics for how you want to lay out the food being grown in each square foot. And they give some advice, like in some of these places, they have you growing marigolds, which are flowers, but apparently they repel pests and stuff. For those of us who don't have a whole lot of backyard, I really like this idea. I haven't done this one yet, but you get yourself a 55-gallon barrel drum made out of plastic, get yourself a heat gun, and you cut slots in it, and then you heat it up and you bend out these pockets. And in one barrel, you can have, I don't know what, a couple dozen plants. And you can do that in a very small footprint. If you live in a condominium, you could do this in your backyard, assuming you have the sunlight for it. And you can grow a lot. And if you have mobility issues and you can't really bend over to pick a lot of weeds, this is a great way. You know, your grandma in her wheelchair, your grandpa in a wheelchair can move around here, water this, can weed it, and can pluck and plant it, or plant and pluck it, right? All in one nice, easy little spot. And you can buy these barrels online for fairly cheap. Okay. Don't get barrels that stored, toxic chemicals in it, but you can get barrels that stored like soda pop syrups, which, I mean, you may not like that, but that's better than getting barrels that stored, motor oil in them, right? Okay. And just go look up online 55-gallon barrel drum garden. A lot of resources for that. I put a link there. I'll try and put these links in the show notes and the show description. Also, another important one that I learned, make electronic copies of your important documents. You should have, and put them on a flash drive that's encoded, encrypted, and have that at a location separate from your house. Like if you have an office at work, put all these documents on a flash drive, store that at your office at work. Don't store the duplicates at home. Reason for that is, what if your house burns down? Right? If your house burns down, your documents are burned down, and on top of that, the duplicates on the flash drive are burned down. But if you have these duplicates on your flash drive at your office, which is 10 miles away from home, 20 miles away from home, chances of both your house burning down and your office burning down at the same time are pretty slim, right? And what kind of documents should you have? Contact information off your cell phone. If you lost your cell phone, you're going to lose all kinds of phone numbers, and that contact information is important. You should have, I have a picture of a Rolodex behind my thing. You should have those on an electronic form on a flash drive, maybe even in an Excel spreadsheet that you've emailed to yourself if you feel comfortable about that. Or if you're not comfortable putting them on a flash drive, get a Rolodex, write them down, or a little stack of 3x5 cards for $1 and write them all down on there, fold that up and have that someplace other than your house. Birth certificates and marriage licenses, you should have copies of those, right? Immunization records, insurance documents, mortgages, and college transcripts. You should have electronic copies or physical Xerox copies in a binder away from your house in a secure location. If you have a desk at work or something like that, you should have them all there in a secure location, just in case you need those. Just recently, somebody I know, his family member has dementia and lost his driver's license, and he's trying to take care of this family member with dementia. And how do you prove who he is at the DMV or at the bank if this family member lost their driver's license and you cannot find their birth certificate? That's going to take some time. And you could have some real challenges getting them, into it, helping them access their own funds or access insurance information if you don't have copies of that stuff. If it's a near family member where it's okay to have that, you need to have copies of those things. Okay, people don't think about that, but you do. Otherwise, life gets real hard real fast. Take my word for it. Okay. So I'm going to end this with what the Bible says before: the prudent see danger coming and take refuge, but the simple keep going and will pay the penalty. That's enough for now for Jared Williamson at the Prepared Adventist. Okay. Thank you.